Okay. Is it recorded now?
It is,
We can go there. Oh, never mind.
I can get the first bit. Yeah, Tom, who helps me, will get the first bit
Oh,
onto
okay,
that.
no worries.
Yes.
Well, we'd probably be sat here all day if I didn't have clients later.
Yeah.
We'd probably be sat all day long.
Exactly, yeah. So wart, sorry.
Yeah,
on your thumb.
so I had a wart on my thumb, and I tried all different things, as you do, you know, with different oils and whatever, and just filing it away. And then I thought I'd just leave it and just try the aged urine. And I just totally forgot about it. It was only literally a few days ago, I actually said to Bill, oh, it's gone. I didn't even notice it. So what's the same with anything, actually? You never know when things disappear.
Oh,
you don't really take much notice. You only really notice when the symptoms are there and they're staring at you in the face.
Yeah,
it used to sort of irritate me a little bit. But yeah, it's quite strange, isn't it? When things just suddenly...
How wonderful.
I couldn't tell you
when
it happened. It just, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It's just very odd. But
Which
it is great.
amazing.
It's absolutely great. Yeah.
So in all of that as well, does that come round to, we've named this as Parasite, Are You Hosting Parasites? Which is a really good title, really, because there's so much about parasites now.
Yeah. It does, basically. So, you know, there is research there that can absolutely support. The other big thing that they're saying is for those that have been vaccinated, and they have the nanotech technology, and also those of you that are going to the dentist and with your local anaesthetic with the graphene oxide, that your own urine has the intelligence to recognise anything that's in your body that shouldn't be there. Okay, so whether it's dis-ease that's been created there, or something that's been placed into your body, and through that looping, okay, that is the intelligence will then deal with whatever it is that's going on. So should we talk a little bit just about the urine therapy?
Oh,
just
absolutely.
because it is really, really, I mean, it's free. So
exactly,
we have been conditioned to think that drinking your own wee is absolutely disgusting. It's a waste product. And yeah, it's just absolutely vile. And I suppose when we think about it, you know, when we go, we've been taught as children, always wash your hands. And can I just say, always wash your hands? I'm not saying any of that. But when it is your own urine, so basically with the body, okay, it's not waste. The waste will be released through the liver, and then first of all, and then the kidney. So liver waste basically comes out through our stools, and that is all the toxins that basically come out. So it smells, the bacteria basically that's coming through would actually create this sort of like the smells there. But when it comes through the kidneys, that's filtering system. So when the urine comes out, it's just basically, it's blood, it's plasma, okay? It's been cleansed from the kidneys, comes straight out as plasma, and that plasma is holding, they have looked and researched into that, over 5,000 compounds. There are 6 chemicals, or not even chemicals, compounds, they don't even know what they are. So they've just called them God particles. That's what they created them as. Day one of urine, so if you was to collect your urine in a jar, which is what I regularly do, they tested and found that there was about 146 on average stem cells. By day 21, there's between 100 million and 150 million stem cells, okay, within that urine. And again, when we think about, and also urine is structured as well, so we understand now. I've been fascinated with structured water about 30 years, but because the urine has come through the body, it actually comes out as living, conscious, holding memory within our body, which is why when we loop, okay, and bring it back in again, for those of you that really maybe struggle with absorbing your nutrients, okay, for whatever reasons, there's so many different reasons for that, okay, that your body may be holding sort of stress and it's not important for your digestive system to want to absorb them. What they found was that because hormones, vitamins, minerals, all of those things are basically part of the compounds that are released, when we re-enter the urine into our body, because of the type of filtering that it has and the memory that it's got, it's able to break that down. So it's like a little bit like homeopathy. In fact, apparently, this is where homeopathy actually, the studies of that first originated from. So when we drink that, we re-enter that into our body, it's done all of its work. So our body is then able to use that in a much more bioavailable way. So the bioavailability is so much more pronounced, basically, and we're able to take in those things. So we do know that a lot of people lose their vitamin B12. They may eat lots of the meats. It doesn't matter what you're eating. If you're not going to absorb those nutrients, there's not really a lot you can do about it. But this is a really good way to actually deal with the root cause of that. Have you tried it? I know that have you tried it? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just getting your head around it, isn't it?
There's no taste. Or I didn't think there was any taste.
If you are living, okay, if you're experiencing quite a clean diet, okay, and that you are drinking plenty of water, all of those things, what it does do is it gives you, it's almost like having a mirror. And I love it in the morning when I hold it up, I go, oh, that's a nice sweet. I love the colour of it. I also smell it, and it just smells of nothing.
Yeah.
It doesn't taste of anything, but you can sort of tell with the plasma, because it has got that nice sort of plasma to it. I just find it's just, there is no smell. It's absolutely great.
I was really shocked. Yeah, I was dreading
Yeah.
I was dreading it, but Dave said, just try a teaspoon first.
Yeah.
So I did one, yeah, and then I did 2 or 3, teaspoons of it just to try, and I was really shocked.
So there's many ways that you can start. Again, it's just allowing that mindset. All of this conditioning that we've had, at the moment, we're in a time where we have to unlearn everything, all of his story and everything else that's going on.
Absolutely.
And because they can't patent this because it's free.
Yes.
It's been used in Ayurveda for the minimum of 5,000 years. Right now, just in China, there's over 1 million people daily drinking their own urine, and all over the world, indigenous. I mean, I don't like to call them the elites. I'd rather like to call them, there's lots of other things instead.
Absolutely.
Part of their daily practice is they all drink their own urine because they know how beneficial it is. There are studies at the moment as well that people with AIDS, by drinking their own urine, their body actually knows what to do in order to help them.
Wow.
So they produce all of the antibodies. Naturally, your body is producing them, okay? But normally we would then just urinate them out, and we wouldn't actually reintroduce them back into our body again. So by reintroducing them again, our body has got its medicine. And what you've got to remember with this medicine is unique to us. Because obviously we're different. We may be human beings, but we're completely different in our biology, and our anatomy, on that like side of it. So it's absolutely unique to us, and it's magic. And I'm quite glad I've come out now because I can't stop talking about it.
That was it. I mean, it wasn't hard to listen to or anything. Yeah, it was fascinating. It was absolutely fascinating to hear you talk about it. And then for me to actually try it was amazing. But also you said about putting it on the face, and your skin is beautiful, so putting that on your face 20 minutes of a morning, then wash it on.
Especially if you're out in the garden, get outside in the garden, and particularly with aged. So aged, remember what I said about the stem cells?
Oh, yes.
Okay, so I am 60 next year, and I have had a good, fun life. I do drink alcohol, but I try to keep it as an 80-20, really. So most of the time, I'm
80
I'm clean.
alcohol and 20 water.
You sound like my type of party girl. And but yeah, and so I have quite, I suppose, quite balanced sort of like living. But so if you think about one of the compounds that they take out of urine, which is urea, people pay so much money just to use this skincare. And what does urea do? It really smooths out the skin. It really does help with what helps it. Not that it's a problem with them, because I'm not trying to fight age. I'm just trying to work with it, and I'm just trying to keep just that clock, because we're in control of our body clock. And the other thing is, when we talk about you're ageless, I'm ageless. I think this is the other thing, we need to use the language a little bit. Rather than saying we are this old, because
exactly, we're longer every day. Yes.
Yes. So we've been here since the beginning of time, and we're going to be here till the end of time.
Absolutely.
So what is age? So we've got to go back into the language that we are ageless, for starters, and our body knows exactly what we need.
Yeah.
And it's actually quite a nice feeling. And what they say, most people, I mean, I know people that literally will cover their bodies with aged urine, go outside and really bask in the sun, and then come back in and shower afterwards. And they are so full of energy afterwards. It's just yeah, it's just amazing. It really is.
And it's not something we want to talk about. It's, you know, you're embarrassed to talk about it, but we shouldn't be, should we?
Well, we shouldn't be, because this is all just part. Okay, another thing that I just want to say. Okay, so when we were in the womb, at around the gestation time of about 6 weeks, that is when the fetus starts to, the embryo starts to produce urine. And that is what amniotic fluid is. So if you actually was to, you know, research a fetus, they actually drink their own wee. Why? Because everything you need is in it. And obviously they are still obviously through the umbilical cord, receiving the other nutrients from the mother, but it's all there. It's not. So if it was so bad, like waste product, why would nature place us in our own urine?
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's just fascinating, the whole thing. The whole thing about being born, how everything grows. Yeah. I was going to say about, I was thinking of daffodils then. You know how they say a daffodil never looks at each other and thinks, oh, she's better than me, or, you know, that type of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, everything that grows is just incredible. So for a baby to grow and get the best of what is needed, because not everyone's going to have the best diet while they're pregnant, but it still manages to come out perfectly. And
absolutely,
yeah, it's amazing.
Life is amazing, isn't it?
Life is amazing.
Really is. Yeah.
Like you come in and said, oh, look at that, you know, and I'd heard from Feng Shui that if you've got sunlight coming through the trees, that's really good for Feng Shui. And so you go with it. The more you learn, and well, the amount of stuff that Dawnie knows is incredible, to be honest.
Well, I've been trying to self-heal for the last 3 decades. Sort of come from, my background was quite traumatic childhood. I ended up in care for a couple of years. Hyperactive, which was diagnosed when I was 7, found my dad on the bathroom floor with his wrist cut at the age of 6, and I would have been a nurse if I'd not been scared of blood. But you know, anyway, it's so for me, when I first 30 years ago trained as a hypnotherapist, psychotherapist, and also fitness instructor, but also did my Reiki at the same time, I thought it was my ADHD brain jumping from different things. Didn't realise it was holistic at that time. So, you know, it was me thinking, oh, there's something wrong with me because I'm jumping around. But actually I was studying them all at the same time.
Yeah.
And then just kept going because it was always about what worked with me. So people say, how can I remember as much as I do? It's because I actually integrate it into my life. So, you know, I live and breathe this. And then try to pass it on, really.
Well, we're healing our whole lives, aren't we?
Constantly.
I mean, you never stop healing, and it's not that through illness as such, it is healing through trauma. And you don't even realise how minute some of the trauma can be and how it has a lasting effect on you.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, we never stop healing.
Never stop.
As soon as you think that you have something will happen.
Exactly, to prove it hasn't.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Or tell us that we're ready to go on to that part of healing, actually.
Well, yeah.
So
yeah. Well, you went to that breathing thing in Southampton the other week.
I did. Oh, yes.
Oh,
absolutely,
yeah,
highly recommended.
But we are getting on to parasites, isn't we?
Somatic breathing I went to Southampton, Phoenix firework, breathwork. Yeah, that was very, very interesting. I didn't think 1 second I was going to be one of those that was going to go into the full reset where my body was shaking, but I did. And
in what way did you like go into trance so that would happen?
They put you into a trance. It's very, very good through the breathing techniques.
Wow.
Yeah, lots of really good breathing techniques, and the way that they talk to you to take you into that space, and then allowing you to go into feeling parts of your body, and then it started happening, and then they're able, even though you're blindfolded, to allow you to go within. You can feel certain hands sort of bringing it out, tapping you to encourage it to come out. And yeah, it was just unbelievable. So trauma is energy, and it will hide itself, you know. And I work with EFT, but you just don't realise on so many different, and every day is a day that you can go out and experience trauma.
Absolutely.
You know,
Yeah,
every day can be a new day where you suddenly a new bit of trauma can come into your life.
absolutely. Yeah.
And sometimes it's not even that we haven't got the skills or the tools, but sometimes it's just at that time we don't really acknowledge it because we may be busy,
Yeah.
or some other things are going on. So we tend to maybe sometimes push it to one side and then forget about it, but it's still there.
Exactly. Dog walking,
Yeah.
just for instance, dog
Yeah.
walking, which is such a beautiful thing to do, and you meet so many lovely people, and then you might not meet someone that's so lovely.
Absolutely.
And that can really affect your day, the dog, yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, just as a for instance, that's
Yeah.
a simple but then you go out the next time thinking, I hope I don't see that person.
Yeah.
Or, you know,
Yeah. Or is my dog going to respond?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
And
When the dog's responded differently to you've ever known it's responded before, or yeah. So things like that can really, trauma is a very deep and very big issue. And so that is, I think, one of the main things that we're here to do is heal. And we're also healing for our ancestors as well, because they wouldn't have known all of this about healing. Well, I'm not saying they wouldn't, but like the Aborigines or
Yeah.
they would.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
probably brought that through. But for us, our ancestors would have probably had the trauma from the wars, etc.
Absolutely.
And wouldn't unconsciously would have passed that on to us. So it's for us to heal for them and for us.
Absolutely. I mean, they say that the 7 generations definitely before us.
Exactly, 7
Really,
generations.
actually, it's quite interesting when we look, because we were talking about
sevens, yeah.
Okay, how important that
Oh, I've just had
is.
truth chills for sevens. Yeah, because I didn't know that at one point, obviously, until you know, you don't know, do you? But I heard that every 7 years is a new beginning in your life. So of course they say, show me the boy at 7 and I'll show you the man. You know, and that you go straight back to how you would have reacted at 7 if you're unconscious to going on forward in your life and healing. So yeah, and I took the happiness course at 49, which was 7 sevens. And I didn't know, that's how I learned about the sevens. Never had any idea, never thought about my age at the time that I took that. But of course, that was a new beginning for me, and it changed my entire life, really.
Yeah, yeah, it has,
yeah, absolutely. So yeah, every 7 years is a new reset, a new start. And if you look back at your sevens, you know, 7, 14, and you talked through that as well. 14, 21, get the key of the door. Yeah, you said that earlier.
Yeah.
So it's very
Males,
interesting.
28s, when they suddenly, most of them, feel that actually they're ready for responsibility.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's just interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
Cycles.
I think 35 was a big restart for me as well. You know, it's just after that I broke my leg, and that put me on a whole, again, another, I know it was another 35, 45, another 14 years before I did the happiness course, but all that 14 years was a complete different trajectory. Anyway, yes, interesting.
We've got so many subjects we can talk about. Really, honestly, we just love it. I love.
Come up where you talk about parasites,
Yeah.
Parasite Cleanse.
Yeah.
And I just thought that was really interesting, because so much, and I love you, boy. Yeah, Parasite Cleanse is so interesting because I've seen so many horrible videos about parasites recently.
Well, that's what happens with the algorithms. You start clicking.
We talk about this, and now to see that later.
So when you watch Mrs. Pimple's Spot, and all of a sudden my algorithms is just filled up with blackheads.
Oh my God, Pimple Popper, and Mrs. Pimple Popper or whatever. Yeah. Oh my God.
But parasites.
Yeah, but parasites is an interesting subject. I've never done a parasite cleanse, but now I've got the stuff that I'm going to make a start on that.
Absolutely. So I've been making some tinctures up,
Yes.
and Jackie's got one of the homemade tinctures.
She's
that we've
amazing.
made. And some Dawnie syrup as well, because that's really good as well. So I'd like to take alongside of that. But I'm trying to encourage people at the moment to really think about parasite cleanses, because especially for those of us that have animals, dog, cats, or even other animals. And again, going a little bit like going back to the urine therapy, people seem to think that, you know, they don't want to talk about parasites because, oh, it must mean that we're really unclean or really dirty or not looking after ourselves. But everybody has parasites. And do you remember when you was a child, growing up, that you probably took certain oils, which really support the gut and other things as well, naturally, as binders and whatever that we would be taking. You know, animals are wormed monthly. And yet there we are, petting them, having them on our beds, and dealing with maybe their litter trays if you have a cat. So we are dealing with that. You know, not all parasites as well are worms, you know, there are other microscopic parasites as well. And so it's really important, okay, because they will also feast, okay, off of our nutrients. So instead of us being able to have the nutrients, they are getting them. And they are so clever because, oh gosh, it's making me jump.
I'm going to have to go a minute. So the door.
Oh, okay.
We're carrying on to.
Oh, hello. Jackie's, yeah. So,
oh, so that's all right.
Oh, are you okay? Oh,
that's good. The dogs are within now.
Yeah. So just going back to the parasites. So yeah, just encouraging everybody to really sort of have a look at that, because it's so easy to rid the body of parasites, and also just get into routines as well.
It is easy to rid them.
Well, it is, as long as you're consistent,
right?
With it. Okay. So obviously you've got to take the herbs that are going to help you.
Absolutely.
One of the things that I would say is definitely try to do like a mini fasting if you can, just beforehand, because what you're trying to do is you're trying to starve their food supply. And their food supply will always be sugars and yeast as one of their main the main two things that they want. And I suppose nature in itself is so clever that they will send out chemical responses that we will pick up and think that we need to dive in for those chocolate biscuits.
Exactly.
You know, we have that craving for sugar. And it's them that's sending the signals. At least we don't have to blame ourselves. It's the parasites. It's the parasites.
That was the other thing you said, though, and we will say about that. We'll carry on about parasites, but you said about parasites without parasites within.
Yeah.
Whole cleanse of the whole thing.
Absolutely.
So we'll talk about that in a minute.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So I would definitely recommend about a 3-day, just really watching your sugars, taking those sugars, maybe reducing some of the carbs, which are going to be high in sugars, out of your diet. It's not a bad thing anyway. It's really good for you to do that. And then it's up to you. You can go online to buy these tinctures. I like to make them because I love everything about them. They're again so easy to make yourself as well. And then by making a big bulk, I can hand them out by the bottles in bulk, and then I can hand them to people and get them on it as well. So, and then you get nagged by me sometimes. Have you started it?
Well, no, and I hadn't, and I have now.
You have now, and you know, and now you've done it. It's so easy, isn't it?
But I'll fast a bit as well, like more.
Just cut out whilst you're doing that. Just cut out some of the sugar, because I think it's that intuitive thing that once we actually know, once we're educated. If someone just said to me, "Go on, stop eating," I don't know, whatever. There's a part of me that's a little bit rebellious and think, I don't like being told what to do. But but when you're educated and you understand why you're doing something, that changes your consciousness, because the veil comes down. So that was in the subconscious that didn't have that knowledge as available. All of a sudden becomes available, and then we start changing our behaviour sort of from that.
Brilliant.
But yeah, and also we were just saying as well on that energetic level, because look, do we really want to be a host, okay, to parasites? And we're not just talking about the parasites that are within our body, but they're in the world at this moment in time. There's a lot of parasites. They want our money, they want health, they want everything about us, okay? That is what they're coming
Our
for.
energy,
Okay? Our consciousness,
consciousness,
our actual energy,
everything.
And
that's not fear-based. It
no,
just is
it's
what
not,
it is.
It's not, yeah. It just is.
Yeah.
And this is where we bring back the power. We bring back that control. So for all of you that understand that the journey is within, okay, the divine is within, okay, we're not searching for something outside of ourselves, we're in full power to be able to respond ourselves, okay. What I would really invite you to think about, okay, is if we were to clean up the parasitic world within us and actually have a very strong environment that is able to resist parasites, okay, as within, so without.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Because the world reflects what is happening inside.
Yes.
So it's
really self-love.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And just being really conscious, okay. And instead of what I think this also helps us do is it helps us to switch off in a way. So all of that's going on out there because it's just energy.
Yeah.
And we know that we, the creators, are able to create that inner world that is parasite free.
Yeah.
We still have to work at this because you know, we can pick up parasites every single day. We have animals. I love being out in nature and I'm always touching things and whatever, you know. I sea swim, and again, sea swimming, river swimming, that is a real quick way of picking up some parasites as well, unfortunately. But again, if you're just really on it, it's just part of your daily practice, then that's a really good way to go. The other thing I just really want to say with parasites though, full moon. Okay, so some of you that might be struggling, okay, with sleeping around a full moon, and quite often we say, oh, it's the energy of the full moon. And yes, it could be, because we know that has a massive effect on our emotional system because we're made up of water. But what I would like to say is that the parasites are very, very active around full moon because that is their reproduction sort of time, okay? So this is a great time to start. It's always a great time. So I say to people, go on your detox 3 days before the full moon. And then when it is full moon, get that started. Brilliant. We want those. It's when they're out and about. They come out of their little hiding holes and we can get them. So yeah, full moon is really important.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I just laughed then because I remember when you said about sea swimming, and I said something about us doing this, you said, oh, let's come over to me and we can do an interview in the sea.
You turned that one down, didn't you, Jack?
I did. See, we're not talking to people from it.
Do you go sea swimming?
No, well, obviously I do, yeah, but not regularly at all. The last time I went, there was a seal come up in front of me. I was floating on a wave, and a seal come out, and I didn't know if they were dangerous, you know, like coming by my feet. So I just gradually walked back, but he was just lovely. He just stood there, yeah, just a head above the water.
They're quite curious, actually.
Amazing, yeah, it was lovely.
Really curious.
Yeah, that was a while ago, actually. Yeah, so we're not actually that close to the sea. You are, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm 7 minutes away, so it's
yeah.
and I've been doing it 6 years now, and it's really good. It's really good. Yeah, I really encourage you to have a little look at cold water dipping because it's really good if you've got inflammation in your body. It's really good for you to manage stress. So when I'm trying to teach people, sorry, we're changing it from parasites.
That's fine, yeah.
When I'm trying to sort of just give people just a few sort of, you know, words of encouragement, I say to people, I'll probably definitely say, you know, go into the water at this time of the year. It's much, much warmer. It hasn't reached yet its peak of being its warmest. We've still got a few more months yet before that happens. But the first thing that I noticed that people do when they first go into the water, or you think about when anything's cold, we tend to sort of squeeze ourselves together and clench and do this. But look at my hands. I'm in fight or flight. Okay, my body actually, on a metaphysical level, actually thinks it's facing the saber-toothed tiger. So I've got to straight away tell my body and open it up and open up my palms and just say that everything's going to be okay. So I'm changing my metaphysical in my body. My body recognizes on that subconscious level that as soon as I open up my arms, that the dangers and the threats are reduced. And if can you imagine if we was to, and I still have to remind myself, I'm not perfect in any way. In fact, I'm completely imperfect. But what I'm trying to say is that perfectly imperfect. But what I'm trying to say is, can you imagine on every stressful situation that we had, if we could do that self-talk, that when we're feeling wanting to play small, or that, or we're frightened of something, or feeling fearful, or wanting to run away, or even feeling that we want to fight the world, if we could just change for a moment our physical stance and just breathe, it changes so much within us. It changes so much.
The breath work. Also, Dawnie does the singing bowls. Sound.
I do.
And
sounds and frequencies.
My gosh, because that's so incredibly good for your body, because we're so much water as well. And the water loves the sound. And singing bowls, nothing better. A singing bowl session is just so healing in itself.
It's
isn't it?
so healing. When you think about it, we're just vibrating atoms.
Yeah.
We had a really big, powerful microscope. We would just be. Do you know what I love about this as well? That with those atoms, or with matter, that it's 99.9999%, well, empty space. We know it's not, because it's energy, consciousness.
Yes.
And in between each atom, the distance is the same. Well, not the same, but between Earth and the Moon, that much space in between. So, are we just sitting as holographic?
Well, I know.
Holographic energy beings.
Jeff Cloud is on Facebook, and he put a post up this morning. Very similar. Is this illusion or not?
Yeah.
You know, and there was like someone from the other side channeling through his mum. Amazing post it was.
Yeah.
The questions, like you come straight in and started on about the questions that we got. Do we go to the light when we pass?
Well, yeah.
I mean, that's a big question that's been on my, radar for a couple of years now, since I saw someone that spoke about that. Don't go towards the light, because it's just get on the reincarnation cycle. Are we being trapped into
light?
Yes. And
so
we are just light.
Actually light
and energy.
Then, because we are light. So there is nowhere to go. We are it. Yes.
Go to.
We already are it.
Yes. And anyone, if
that's because the divine wasn't outside of ourselves.
Yeah.
The divine is within.
Yeah.
So we're already there.
And so this fear that you've got that you won't see your family and loved ones again.
But they're in our holographic hearts.
Absolutely, yeah. Actually, I love these conversations. But that is the truth, isn't it?
Yeah.
But it has been a question, because someone come along and did a talk and said, don't go towards the light when you're told to. At the end of the day, when you pass over and you say, go towards the light, and everyone will be there waiting for you. But he said, no, turn around, go back, and you'll go to whatever planet you originated from, or wherever you should be. And it just caused such a... I was asking everyone at the time, do you believe that? Do you believe that? Very few did, but there is something about, they'll find you, if your energy, if your light, and like you say, it's already within.
It's nowhere to go.
Yeah.
It's within. We keep talking about this world out there.
Yes.
When the world is actually here.
Yes.
It really is.
Yeah.
We know about the holographic heart.
Yeah.
It contains everything.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, there's a lot of food for thought here, but definitely because of the parasitic, as within, so without. So start with self.
Start with self every time. Absolutely.
Self-love. I mean, the happiness course was, in fact, a week about learning how to love yourself.
Yeah.
And so is Ho'oponopono. So is all of these. It always comes back to loving yourself, and then you can love others.
Absolutely.
And being able to say, I love you.
And having that compassion for yourself.
Yes.
Because, there is, we're so fragile, aren't we, as human beings, really, and we can be so hard on ourselves.
Yes.
It's so easy to become, and there is no thing as perfection at all in any way, shape, or form.
You can't look for perfection. You are perfection.
Exactly. There's nothing to fix.
Yeah.
You may have had trauma inside of you through life experiences, but there is those things through self-love will heal naturally.
Absolutely. Yeah. your thoughts are, you are perfect, but your thoughts can be imperfect.
However, we are not our thoughts, we are not our emotions, we're none of those things. We're I always say to people, you know, especially when we're talking about the sound meditations and allowing the mind to settle, and you know, quite a lot of us are overthinkers, and the battle as you're trying to settle is normally, oh, I'm overthinking, And I'll say to people, it doesn't matter. You are not your thoughts. Just allow your thoughts to do their thing. Don't try to fight them. You're not your thoughts. You're not your mind. You're not your emotions. You're none of those things. And you just find that they just settle themselves when you stop fighting, and just surrender to, okay, I don't know how long my mind's going to be busy for.
Surrender is massive.
Yeah.
Yeah, acceptance and surrender. Accept where you are, accept who you know, accept what life is bringing you, and then surrender to it all.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, amazing. Will you do a sound bath for us if I get it organised?
Absolutely, we'd love to.
Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
absolutely.
Yeah, I would love that.
So I was very lucky that I trained in Nepal. I had been to Nepal several times before that, and I actually went back 3 separate times to continue the training there. And the training is very different to sort of, you know, other sort of like training. And so I've had different parts of training as well in different parts of the world for this. But I just love some of the stories they were telling, because they were teaching us all the very basics of the Bon culture, and sort of some stories about the bowls through skulls being used as bones. And yeah, it's absolutely amazing. And that might sound a bit horrific, but that's just because it's not our world.
Yeah,
okay, but it's
yeah,
the experience.
Everyday world for someone else.
The Bon culture, which is very similar to some of what we see with Buddhism, but they were pagans, and they believed that once you passed away, that with ceremony, 3-day ceremony, your soul would leave your body, and your body was just a body. Okay, so they would tie you into a fetal position whilst they poured herbs all over you for 3 days and blessed you. I'm not allowed to say that, actually. Bemored you. And
yeah, the bless.
Yeah, but bemore you.
Bemore you.
I'm just creating new words for the English language. And yeah, and then they would be taken up into the mountains, Himalayan mountains, where the vultures would feed them as part of the recycling. And so they would have special people that would take them up there. The bodies would be cut, and that would encourage vultures. The vultures then would feed on them, and then eventually just the bones would be crushed a little bit, but the skulls and the femurs would be brought back down to the villages, and then the skull would be used as drums. They would skin them, and the femurs were quite often used as flutes. It's amazing, isn't it? Play Nanny's leg. But I know. But it's wonderful when you're
it's all spring.
Yeah. So I was very fortunate that I was able, and they still do these burials. They're called sky burials if you want to research it to this day, and you can go watch them as well from a distance. And so that was really quite interesting. But one of the things that they were teaching me, because they teach you a lot about the Hindu philosophy, religion as well, sort of how the universe was created through the Om, and but was the learning to use the mala beads. So the mala beads have 108.
Yeah.
Okay. Beads.
Rosary.
Like the rosary. Do you know what? Does the rosary have 108?
No,
I don't know that, actually. But so going back to our special numbers as well, the 369,
yes,
really important.
Yes.
So video, they all add up to 369.
Yeah.
So yeah, when you look at that, about 108. But did you know that with Earth, and you have the sun and the moon, that you can fit in 108 suns between the sun and Earth, and 108 moons in between?
No, I did not know that. How did they ever work that out?
I don't know. But how do they work out anything?
Well, exactly. How do
they know all this?
Yeah. But synchronicities and that happen, you'd think perhaps there is someone that knows, and
Yeah.
Interesting.
Or their consciousness.
Yes.
Because we have been suppressed over
Oh,
the
totally
period of
limited.
time.
Yeah.
And they think that the bun culture goes back to about 15,000 years ago. And we also know that we had the Ice Age, was it about 12,000 years ago? Did they say? Well, I'm not too sure. But anyway, but yeah, so when you actually look back at some of this, it's really quite interesting. You never looked at Tataria. I mean, how did that?
Tataria was just in my mind then.
Was it?
Absolutely. I was thinking, well, look what they were able to do when they only had the cart and horse. Which did they only have the cart and horse? They couldn't possibly. Like what? That was sound. The pyramids, sound and vibration, frequency. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And
Yeah.
it's just mind blowing.
But the miraculous buildings that are like from the 15th century, you know, the miraculousness of it.
And also said the same as I did. Why did we stop building buildings as made
So
that?
beautiful.
It's soulless
and then
now.
it's blocks.
Now it's soulless.
Yeah, totally
It's
soulless.
nothing, and made not to last.
And also, like cars used to be the most beautiful colours.
Well,
I know you can get them, but in general, it's white, black, silver.
Yeah.
Just to take any fun out of. But we went along to the American Cadillac sort of day at Bewley the other day.
But that was good.
The colours and the yeah. So the love of vehicles and that, and it's just been dumbed down, limited.
Yeah. That whole you can see where that that's sort of like the I think everything's just been compressed into this.
That's why colour is just so important. You know, bringing colour into your life in any way, I think is just incredible.
Yeah, definitely.
You love art as well, don't you? Well, there's anything you don't like, actually.
I think there was a time, I would probably say, more so around around just before 1996, where my life was very, very different. I was very wounded. I was going through some really abusive relationships because I was having an abusive relationship with myself, actually, to be fair. And that was through trauma. So I wasn't making the greatest decisions for myself. But once there was a big trigger, actually. In fact, you know, when I started painting, it was an eclipse around 1995. We can look back at that one, where the sun was really massive and red, or the moon, probably this up. It must have been a lunar eclipse, but the moon was bright.
Went dark in the day.
And no, this one was the one at night time.
Oh, okay.
And I remember painting with my sister. So my dad's a really good paint artist. My sister is really, really good at art, and my younger brother is really, really good at drawing as well. And I always felt, you know, as you do, and so I used to say to myself, I can't draw, I can't do this, I can't do that. And then this particular eclipse, I just got painting. And it was really weird. It was like I was having an out-of-body experience, because when I finished, I remember looking at the finished work and thinking, I did that. I know it sounds really weird.
No, but that's wonderful.
It's like almost like I had
time goes as well.
Yeah, time goes. It's almost like you have an out of body, and then what is left is what's on this canvas of colour, as you say.
Yes.
And it's just unbelievable. And then that was the start of it.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And I suddenly became interested in everything.
Yeah.
Everything.
I get that.
Everything.
I do get that, yeah. I mean, I just mentioned I've got a little bit of arthritis in my thumb. I've only noticed that recently, and the pain that goes through it. And you've told me what to do for that. And most people,
boron, look, about half a teaspoon of boron. Absolutely. So what they found were so I've actually physically seen this with my eyes as well, with people with completely arthritic hands where they're quite twisted and bent. And I've actually seen the boron working to start unknotting. Yeah, absolutely. It's amazing. And they found that people that were like that, when they tested them, they were really, really low at boron. It just goes to show that it normally comes down to the fact that we are deficient. They say that it's what is dis-ease is when the body is not at ease because it's either deficient or otherwise it's toxic. Okay, so or both. Okay, and those two things are what causes disease. So again, parasites create a toxic environment in our bodies.
Honestly, that is a definite. I am going to be doing that. And you say the new moon's coming. Well, I can easily look that up.
Yeah, we just had a full moon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we've got the new moon coming.
Oh,
but yeah, we do it on the full moon.
Oh, on the full moon.
But you're
Yeah.
doing it. I mean, you're doing it. It's fine for you to do it every day, but just
Yeah,
keep
yeah.
that going as well.
Yeah.
And the reason why I've made that up with the walnut hull, black walnut hull in the wormwood and the cloves is that they have different stages. So obviously we want to get the eggs, we want to get the adults, we want to get the young. So it's about keeping that going in cycles. If you want to reach out to me, we can pop you into our parasite group. I've got a lot of parasite group on WhatsApp.
Yes.
You can take your notifications off, so it doesn't sort of bother you. But I can bring up some of the past stuff with some of the just for the education if you're interested.
Oh, absolutely.
And how to make it yourself if you wish to as well.
So, incredible, yeah. And the last thing we're just going to finish on. I know we could go on all day.
Yeah. Are we going to go out and get some? Are we going to go and get a little bit of fish, shall we? Oh, sorry. No.
I got my friends coming in.
Oh, okay.
12:30, and you've got to be back.
Well, I'll have to be back. Yeah, I've got a couple of rogies.
No.
No. That's okay. That's all right.
Have you not eaten yet?
Listen, I do a lot of fast, so I'm not actually hungry. So that's okay, fine. So yeah, I just.
Oh my goodness! Didn't even ask that when we got going. We were going to go out for breakfast last week and that didn't.
And then we got too hot.
Yeah. I've got to adjust to this. But yeah, I wanted you to just say the amazing thing that you're going to be doing in a couple of weeks' time.
Oh, my walk. So
you won't believe this.
So I'm walking from Winchester Cathedral to Canterbury Cathedral, and it's along the old Pilgrim's Way. It's called the Pilgrim's Way, and it is about, I think it's about 250 kilometres, although it probably ends up about a lot more, because I have to go, if I am going to stay somewhere to sleep indoors, I have to probably walk about 5 miles, sometimes each way actually, so I may have to add an extra 10 miles just to go and find a bed. But apart from that, I'm going to keep it really, I'm on my own, which I'm absolutely fine with. I need to go. People asking me why I'm doing this. I've already done half of the Camino de Santiago, did that a few years ago. And it was one of the most spiritualist things or learning things I could do for myself, because it wasn't easy. And what it taught me was no matter what is happening in your life, the sun always rises and every day is a new day. And you just reset yourself to that new day. And I had 100 kilometers to go back in on the Camino, and my feet were absolutely covered in blisters. And yet the people in the hostel that I stayed at, they were so kind, and they were teaching me how to deal with the blisters, which just quickly put needle and cotton through the blister. You cut the cotton off and leave the cotton within the blister, and that stops it stops it from rubbing off. So therefore, and I managed to complete that. So I just felt that I needed to get away from the noise. There's so much noise around me at the moment. I wanted to get away from people. Unlike the Camino, there isn't a lot of support because it's not that common that people do this these days. I just felt that I wanted to be out in nature, away from all of the EMFs, and also just be with Dawn, with my thoughts, with my fears, with my everything that who I am on my own. But the biggest thing as well is I've really connected with Christos, Christ consciousness. And I know that Father will have my back and that Mother will nourish me. And Christos, the light, will guide me. And I really trust in that. So I'm going to do this walk and and get close.
Unique, incredible woman.
Yeah, I just need to do that.
That's amazing. Really amazing. You've got to come back and talk to us after you've done it.
I will do.
Yeah.
We'll
also do the sound bath.
Yeah.
Oh, Dawnie.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, we definitely do the sound bath. Yeah, it'd be amazing.
Yeah.
So we can take some lovely walks through the New Forest.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. They've just started the tour bus going all around the different.
Oh, have they?
Yeah, where you've got the open top bus and it takes to all the best parts.
Okay.
Going from Lindos. Well, there's different pickup points, but that's worth doing as well.
That would be up that nice early start on the day and then have some lunch out.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Oh, yes.
Date.
Honestly,
Keep
thank
having
you.
me
And
here.
thank you for anyone watching this. So fascinating, so interesting to listen to you and all what you know. So yeah, I'm going to start taking boron.
Yeah.
I've already started with the Parasite Cleanse. So yeah, thank
It's
you
all
so
good.
much.
Oh.
Honestly, you're a love. Thank you so much. Yeah, so Dawnie will be back, and we'll put underneath here the how to contact you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Thank
okay.
you.
Thank you.